Tito, congratulations on the Prospect of the Year awards and honors in 2023. Let's talk about that really quick. You had a very banner year, beating the likes of Hank Lundy, Jeremiah Nakatia, but how would you assess your 2023?
Man, I thought it was a great year. I fought a lot of guys that had a lot of experience. Nakatila, who, beat Richard, got in the ring with Shakur, Morataya. Hank Lundy, who's been in there with, guys like Crawford, regarded as the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And, the other guy that fought in Nicaragua, Solisani, who just recently fought Barbosa, and gave him a hard time, in my opinion. Just to know that I was able to do that with, this amount of fights that I have and to look as good as I did, it means a lot. And, for the boxing writers, to nominate me as Prospect of the Year, it means a lot to me.
5-0, 4 knockouts, a lot of them very early. Were you surprised how easy it was?
I was in a sense, and then when I think about the preparation I did, we always go overboard on it. So I guess in a sense, no. But obviously, with Aeon's gloves, anything can happen. And once I land the punch, unfortunately, they go out quick. So I guess no, in a way, because I know the hard work that I put in. So when I realized it, I'm like, that's the way I was going to go the whole time.
Mm-hmm. The future is bright for you at 140 pounds. It's probably one of the more talented and stacked divisions in boxing right now. Why do you think you're the best in that division?
I think, besides my mindset that I have, I have a real killer instinct type of mentality. I'm willing to make these fights happen. And when I do talk, a lot of, shit, I always back it up. And then besides that, I think I have a real awkward style for a lot of these fighters, a lot to deal with. I'm a big guy, a power puncher. I have a lot of speed with me, and I have a lot of athleticism and skills. So I think that's just overall, any fighter that gets in the ring with me is gonna have a lot to deal with. Whether it's power, speed, or athleticism, there's just so much to deal with for these fighters.
You have a lot of tools. For fans who haven't seen you fight yet, how would you describe your fighting style?
A boxer puncher, but I think explosive type of boxer puncher. Sometimes. Obviously, I'm always the type of guy to go get the fight. I'm always looking for it. I'm always, obviously, in a smart manner, not, one-for-one, rock'em, sock'em, robots type thing. But I'm always looking for the fight, trying to engage the fans and get the knockout, obviously. But, sometimes I just land that one shot that, it may not even be that hard to me, and they just go to sleep. So I think explosive boxer puncher.
Mm-hmm. The 140-pound division, like we mentioned, stacked. Ryan Garcia, he's the newest entrant. Do you think he's the real deal?
I don't think so, man. Especially with all this talks now that, he wants to fight Devin, now he wants to fight Rolly. I think he's just making a fool out of himself. I think he even mentioned himself that he's going to stay off social media, and he just got back on it again. So I think the guy's kind of lost, but, there's other great fighters on there like Teofimo, Devin Haney, and Sabril Matias, and not Rolly. Those three are good fighters, so hopefully I'm able to get in the ring with them one day and take their straps.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people knock Rollies as one of the weakest champions in the sport. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, that's why I don't blame Ryan for saying he wanted it, but don't say you want Devin first and then switching it up. But I do think that Rolly is the least talented in the weight class. Don't get me wrong, he does look like he has power. Like I said, any shot, 8 ounce gloves, anything can change anything. But I think he's the least talented of the champions for the division.
If those fighters were all to fight each other, who do you think would be the one that goes undefeated?
I'll probably give it to Devin Haney. I think he has more consistent performances. Regarding, I think overall, I think Teofimo is probably the better fighter out of the world champions. But I think he just has too many off nights. He had an off night with Sandor Martin, off night with Cambosos, and there's certain fighters you can't have off nights with. So I think Devin Haney, just because obviously he's talented, but he has a lot more consistent performances.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Haney's performance against Prograis, do you think that'll make it harder for him to get these bigger fights just because how dominant he looks in his performances?
I would say yes and no. He looked good. Obviously, I feel like Regis was kind of on the down end to his career. He's a lot older. I think he's like 36. But no, nonetheless, he looked real good. I think he could, with that performance, I think he could make a lot of big more money fights, with Teofimo or whether it's with Ryan. So I feel like popularity-wise, he's doing good. I don't think so much fighters are scared of him too much because they know he don't have power like that. So I think a lot of people would be willing to risk it just to get that one in and, put him to sleep. But yeah, that's the way I see it.
A lot of also former world champions at 140. We're talking about Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. There's the likes of Arnold Barboza out there. Do you see yourself fighting that caliber of fighter sometime this year?
Of course, man. I was supposed to fight Barboza at the last fight he just fought right now. Golden Boy offered me the fight, and their team declined it for whatever reason. But they offered me the fight, and we're waiting to sign it. We were waiting for the contract. They said no, withdraw. So you know, I'm willing to get in there with anybody, and you know, a win like that would drastically, you know, change the whole outcome and where they put me in the division name. So I'm just waiting for my shot, and you know, obviously the other fighter got one.
2024, we're just starting. In an ideal world, if you could have two opponents this year, who would they be?
Damn, that's hard, man. But for any world champions, obviously, you know, to be able to take that strap and beat, you know, whether it's, I mean, to me, I would rather fight, you know, Devin Haney or Teofimo if I had a choice, you know, with this year, obviously. You know, I want to win the belt, but I want to win it convincingly, and I want it to be respected for, you know, who I beat. You know, I feel like a win over Rolly, yeah, I'll be world champion, but everybody's like, who's really Rolly? So I would want to take Teofimo or Devin Haney.
And any last words to your fans?
It's January 27th, man. Stay tuned. 360 Promotions. We're going to be fighting right here on the UFC Fight Pass. They always put on great shows, and I'm just looking to contribute to it and, like always, get another knockout.